Okay, everyone, I want to welcome you to our call today. You're on the Family Teams Power Talk, and we're going to talk about how to ensure that your March for Babies campaign has a nice, strong finish as you race across the finish line to your March for Babies event day. I have taken the liberty of muting all the lines. There was some pretty strong background noise, so I muted all the lines except for those of our speakers today. We will take the lines off of mute and do some Q&A, so if you have questions, please feel free to make note, and we'll get to them before the call is over. My name is Melissa Bettis. For those of you that I haven't spoken with, I'm the National Director of Family Team Development here with the March of Dimes. And I just want to take a moment and welcome you to our call today, and thank you for taking half an hour out of your day to hopefully learn some new tips and tricks to, like I said, race across that finish line strong with March for Babies. And to help us today, we have a wonderful guest speaker on the phone from our Ohio chapter of the March of Dimes, and she's going to talk a lot about some things that they use with their family team on how to really ensure that they get to their goal, they do all the last minute things that they want to do to really beat their best for March for Babies, and share some good tips and tricks with you. So you'll all want to grab a pen and paper if you haven't already so that you can jot down some notes. I'm going to turn it on over to our guest speaker, Gigi Messer. Gigi?
Hi, thank you, Melissa, for that introduction. The very first thing I want to start with is to talk about recruiting more walkers for your family teams. I know we're all thinking we're getting really close to the walk and how can we get more people on board, but we need to focus on the more team members that we have and the higher amount that they're going to be able to raise for our team. So if you recruit those walkers, you'll be ensuring that they can use the tools that they have online so they can meet their fundraising goals. We also want to make sure that anyone that's planning to walk with us day of is that they're registered online. Be sure to send them a team link and make sure they're registered as a walker. And also they can use their own link to fundraise as well. So my number one goal for everyone out there is to recruit 5 walkers new between now and walk day, and also give them a challenge of meeting a goal, whatever's feasible for your walk site or for your team. A second topic that I can touch base on that has worked really well for my team is our family team T-shirts. We started out in 2011, and we have sold probably in 2.5 years over 350 T-shirts. Now, we don't always have 350 people walking with us, but we do sell them to everyone we know. We even sell them across the state borders. So I ship them out to people, but they know that they're purchasing something that is also a donation. And then our team T-shirts are also floating around, and you see them within the community, and my friends and family that live out of state can also wear them. So I really encourage everybody to reach outside of their teams to sell team T-shirts, and you can also upsell them. So if they are at a cost to you for $3, maybe sell them for $5 and so on, as well as you can collect team sponsorship for your T-shirts. Sell space on the back of your T-shirt so that helps bring your initial out-of-pocket costs down, advertise for a company, and also make some money for your team. We've made several hundreds of dollars off of our team T-shirt. A third point that I have for everyone is in celebration of our... Yes.
Gigi, I'm sorry. Can I stop you for just a second? I feel like
Sure.
maybe I didn't give you a proper introduction. And would you mind telling everybody how long you've been participating with the March of Dimes, and on average, how much your family team has raised over those years?
Oh, sure. We started in 2011, and we came on board as an ambassador team for Cleveland. That's where my daughter was born. And she was born at 28 weeks, and we've walked in 2 walks to date, and we've raised $11,000. So that's kind of where we started. And she's now 3 years old, and we continue to walk with the March of Dimes.
Great. Thank you. Sorry,
You're welcome.
skipped over that part. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Melissa. So we have done, our first year we had 43 walkers signed up to walk with us. Our second year we've had 45, and I really think that's how we've reached our goal. Every donation that we have gotten has been from a friend or family. The most we've ever gotten in one donation was $400, and it was a family team sponsorship. So that's kind of why I think, Melissa, you've asked me to join this call, is because I'm probably more of the average team, the average fundraiser, and we have average walker status. So these are just some things that have worked in our area and our market. The next thing would be the 75th anniversary. Me personally, I'm challenging everyone that joins our team to raise $75 more than their best. And also anybody that joins our team for the first time, I'm asking them to raise a minimum of $75. Now, I have found personally that once they reach that $75 and they see that gold bar move across their online fundraising, that they tend to raise more, and it's easier to raise more because they're pushing so hard to reach $75 that the people who are responding to their emails and their asks and actually donating more. So I also would encourage you to ask all of your walkers to make their own donation if they haven't already. We also ask that we put out reminder emails and lots of Facebook page posts closer to your walk. The number one reason people do not give is because they forget. I know when we get right into walk season in the beginning of February, we tend to put out an email and then we don't remind our friends and family that we want that donation and that sponsorship. So now that we are getting closer to walk, it's a great idea to go ahead out and send out weekly emails to friends and family and re-asking them for sponsorship if they haven't already, and let them know how close you are to reaching your goal, and also ask them to help you reach that goal. So Facebook is a great tool, I think, as well. That's something easy and quick that you can use, and it reaches a lot of people. In the past, I've been able to really corner some new people, people that I haven't thought of before to ask, or people that surprised me, someone I went to high school with, someone I went to college with, someone that I've previously worked with. They see my post and my story, and they go online and they contribute. So it definitely works, but we've just got to be able to use it. Another tip that I have is carrying the sponsorship envelopes, and I personally highlight our walk information because our sponsorship envelope has 5 different walk sites on it. So the ones I carry, I highlight the walk date and location, and then when you open up the sponsorship envelope, I highlight where it explains how to register on marchforbabies.org, and then I also go ahead and write in our team name. So if I'm out and about, whether it be a grocery store or a doctor's appointment or something like that, I always have those on me. And when I engage in conversation with somebody new and they ask me for more information or we start to talk about it, I always have that right there to hand to them. And it's been really helpful. It's a way for them to either go on and make a donation to my team personally, join my team, or start their team. So I encourage everybody to always carry materials on you. Something new in Ohio we kind of started last year and really took off this year is family team sponsorship. It's worked out really well for my team this year. We've reached, I think, about $1,500 in just sponsorship alone. And what it is you can go out to your local businesses who you already frequent, whether it be someplace you get your oil changed at, a doctor's office, a restaurant you frequent, and ask them to sponsor your team and tell them why you're walking and why it would be important for their sponsorship. And in return, they get a sign to display at the walk showing that they have sponsored you. It's a 100% tax-deductible donation, and they also get company recognition. So it's a really great way for them to sponsor you, to get a large amount, and then also give a little bit back to them as far as recognition. The last thing, Melissa, that I have on my list to chat about is some wraparound events. And I know that you and I have spoke, and it's pretty close to walk day now, and it might be too late to get these in motion. But I think they're great tips to share with everyone for next year if you can't execute them this year before your walk. One of them being an online auction, and I can send the link to you, Melissa, for everyone else, but it's 32auctions.com/organizations. And we have a local team in Cleveland that is running an auction online for about 3 weeks, and the items start at $100 and go up. And you can bid on them or even buy them now, kind of like a regular auction, but it can reach so many more people because it's done online. They are offering pickup or free shipping to anybody who wins the bids, but it's a great tool for them. Also, we're planning to do a Zumba-thon, which is something new to our area, and it's really popular, and people are curious about it. We're charging one flat rate for day of. They get 2 hours of Zumba class and dancing. and we're running 50/50s and raffles on top of that, and it's all based on donation. So 100% of what we collect on that will be donated back to the March of Dimes. And also what we have going on is Parent Night Off. This has worked out really well for our area. Somebody on a team can designate an evening to take in children, and they offer dinner, movie, games, activities, and a craft. And parents just have to make a minimum donation in whatever you set. And they can go out, have their evening, and come back and pick up their child. It's kind of like a YMCA type event where the kids are full of activity, they get everything they need, they're in a safe location, and parents feel comfortable, and the cost is strictly based on donations. So those are some of the things that I have and that has worked for my team. Melissa, if you have any questions or want to touch base on anything I've spoke about, or if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Sure. Let me take the lines off of mute. I would ask if you have any kind of heavy background noise, if you have children at home that are loud behind you, or if you're on a cell phone that is maybe making static or whatnot, that you go ahead and keep yourself on mute. If you would just press your unmute button, that would be great. But let's do some Q&A. Just 1 second.
Presentation mode is now disabled.
Okay, are there any questions for Gigi or for myself about maybe something she spoke about or any kind of challenges you're having right now as you finish your March for Babies campaign that we could help you with? We have about 15 minutes left.
No, I have no questions.
Oh, thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
My family does. Yeah, my family does. They're just making sure pets are allowed to walk at the March of Dimes walkathon.
It depends on your location. I recommend that you check with your local office. What location are you in?
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso. Probably so. You might check with the local division there and make sure. I think that in most cases they're discouraged, but as long as they're on a leash and they're friendly pets, then they're usually allowed.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was the only question I had for you guys.
Thank you so much. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm in Seattle, and the parent night out, about how many kids can one family house?
You know, Stacy, when she's done it, she's recruited like her sister and some other friends, and she does run daycare in her home, but she's limited it, I believe, to 10 to 13. Okay. And it just depends on the age of the children. So whatever you're comfortable with, you know, if you've got a bunch of 1- and 2-year-olds, I don't think you'd want 13 of them. But if they were 4 years and older, you might be able to do 8 to 10 easy. But she does recruit, I know, additional adult help that day. So
yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't know a lot of, I think parents in Seattle would be hesitant to leave their kids, like they'd just be too concerned with liability. But that's definitely a great idea, and I'll think about it for how to tweak it.
You know, you could do it maybe at a church location, or maybe get a daycare on board, or to use your local YMCA and maybe have a room so it is maybe more of a neutral location, you know, and do it that way to start out with. She lives in a small community, and she does run daycare out of her home, and she volunteers at her church preschool. So she has probably a little bit more connection with people that would be trustworthy. But I'm with you. I was a little nervous to think, oh, I'm just going to take my child to a stranger's house, you know. So, but it's a great idea. It just needs to work for you. So there's definitely some ways to tweak that to make that work.
The way to spin it might be to, you know, if you have a large family team, or if you're working with large family teams, to have it just internally with your family team. So that way it's just, you know, maybe aunts, uncles, cousins, and then the parents all get a night out, and you have the older cousins do the babysitting or whatever the case may be. So you could just do it internally with your own team as well, and that might make you feel a little more comfortable.
I'm thinking too, like even in your.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Another question? Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What facility do you end up getting your T-shirts? I'm running into problems getting cost-effective team T-shirts done.
You know, for me personally,
also try Ubu Print.
Try what?
I'm sorry. It says for T-shirts you can try Uber prints because I made T-shirts for my little girl, and they were only $22, and you get them in 3 days. And it says in the back, it says March of Dimes and all that stuff.
That's a great idea. Gigi,
sorry,
what
what's that?
I was just sharing that I called some of the local T-shirt companies in our area, and we are a very small market, and there was several T-shirt design companies, and I even asked for them to kind of cut the price, knowing that my T-shirt, just as an example, in our area in Sandusky, Ohio, I had a colored T-shirt with a 2-color full front and a 2-color full back, and we were quoted less than $10 for a small quantity.
That's amazing.
Yes, we got really good deals. So, but you know what? I would call around to different businesses and let them know, because they ended up, what they did is they donated the screen cost and the setup fees for us.
Okay.
So, you know, that's a way for them to feature their business also on your T-shirt, even if you get no other sponsorships. You could ask them to donate those types of things, because that's really what drives the cost up. Not just supplies, but, you know, the extra things like that. And I asked them to donate that if I would allow them to put their logo on the T-shirt as well. And they were very happy to do that.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. That's like a win-win.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
This is Jennifer in Cleveland. I called the EA Graphics Company in Michigan last week just to get some details on deadlines and turnaround. And they're the company that is featured on marchforbabies.org under Team Captain Tools, and they're really wanting to work with us. They have several varieties of T-shirts, and they know that our walk dates are end of April, beginning of May, and they really believe they can turn it around in 2 to 3 weeks, including online proof approval.
Okay. Excellent. And they're reasonable there?
They're very reasonable. They're like $4, $5, $6.
Okay.
And up. Great. It depends on how detailed your design is and if you want back and front. But it's basically eagraphics.com, and then I believe it's / March of Dimes. But you can also find a link on the marchforbabies.org website under Team Captain Tools.
Right. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Any other questions for Gigi or myself about getting your family team to meet their goal on or before March for Babies Day? Any other fundraising challenges you're having out there? Any other tips and tools that you guys are using that we didn't talk about, or just any questions over the things we did talk about?
I think the Parents' Night is a great idea. I really like that.
I
idea.
agree. As Gigi and I were prepping for this call, she told me that she did that. And I have a 3-year-old. I said I would absolutely be all for that. That sounds great.
Yeah, and I think, even if you initiate that in your own neighborhood, so people know you and you know them, but where the comfort level is a little bit different, then I think that would be really successful.
And she's doing one a month. She did one right before Easter. She's doing one this month as well, and just doing a different theme. So you could definitely do it more than once.
Any other questions or thoughts? Okay, well, I hope that this call – is there a question? I'm sorry.
Oh, if you have time, I just noticed that we surpassed our goal. So, what's a tactful way to raise your goal without looking like you're greedy?
Yeah. Gigi, do you want me to take that, or would you like to answer that one?
Well, I'll touch on it briefly, and then if you want to answer it, because that happened to us our first year. We set our goal very modestly the first year. My daughter was born November 15th, and we set our goal for $1,115, $1,115. And we had beaten that right off the get-go. And I never changed my toolbar goal, but I kept expressing to people how it meant so much that they were believing in me and they supported me, and that we were trying to double it, at that point. So that's kind of how I addressed it without sounding greedy, but I recognized that we had met our goal, but now I was putting out a challenge of now doubling it. So
And I can tell you from my experience that happens a lot. That's a good problem to have. That's what we like to see here at the March of Dimes, because obviously it is a fundraising that's funding the research that is going to help, fund with our mission and so forth. So we love it when people reach their goal. What I hear a lot of people do is they set their goal at a modest amount to begin with, and as they get close, they slowly raise the bar, and continue to raise it. I think it's really exciting to send out an email to everyone or to put it on your Facebook page that says, Team Jones or whatever it is, we've reached our goal. We're so excited, but we think we can do more. So we're raising the bar. We're challenging ourselves to another $250. Who's in, or something fun like that, and just let them know that you have achieved your goal, and you're so thankful, and you're so proud, and all of those funds will go into research and so forth, and you are raising the bar yourself. So you're initially just challenging your friends and family to step it up one more notch.
Okay. Thank you.
But that's a good problem to have. Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? Well, I hope that this call has been beneficial. It sounds like there was a lot of great conversation, and I hope that you all were able to get some tips and tools to carry your campaign into a strong finish for March for Babies for our 75th anniversary. We really appreciate you taking half an hour out of your day today to be on our call. I would like to thank Gigi for her time today and providing the tips and tools that have really helped her family team be successful in the past years. If you guys are volunteers and you have any questions and you want to reach out to me directly, my email address it's Melissa Bettis. It's MBETTIS @marchofdimes.com. Again, it's MBETTIS @marchofdimes.com. I'll be happy to chat with anybody offline if they would like to. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and thanks again for your time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Okay. Bye.